Welcome to Charts Today. My name's David Linton, and today's edition for Tuesday, the 14th of November, comes to you from London. And we start by looking at the dollar, still struggling to get back above the cloud on the short-term chart here, so we're still bearish on the short term, hitting resistance here on the medium-term chart on the lagging line, although this does look like it will wander through the cloud into bullish territory soon. If we look at the euro, seeing here stronger again this morning, hitting the 116.90 level, so we are now bullish above the cloud for a few days now, and we're seeing here on the medium term chart that's finding support on the cloud, so really the reverse situation of what we're seeing with the dollar index. So euro looking stronger, dollar looking weaker still. Japanese yen, the dollar is actually strengthening here, so this is the first signs of some dollar strength. Short term we've made a cloud transition, and we've got good upside targets, 4 upside targets on the short term chart, so dollar is looking stronger against the yen, so we may see that follow through to other currencies. Sterling is still looking weak against the dollar. We're bearish below the cloud here, so nudging the 130 levels yesterday. 130.75 was the low, so we are just seeing sterling weakness creeping in, and we are on the medium term chart just looking like we're wandering back below the cloud. We already are on the price, and the lagging line doesn't have much work to do to go there either. So sterling still looking pretty bullish or bearish all round against the dollar, and against the euro we're seeing this morning sterling falling again further against the euro. So sterling's outlook not looking great. Swiss franc, sterling lower, and against the Australian dollar, just as a check, actually sterling looking a little bit better here, so that's more about Australian dollar weakness. The S&P 500 index closed at 1284 last night, so just holding the gains really, no big dramatic moves. Nasdaq did move a little bit higher again, but still bullish above the cloud on all 3 time frames. You may recall yesterday the Dow was just coming below the cloud. We're seeing here it was very flat again yesterday, so we haven't yet made significant moves in that direction. And the Russell 2000 still below the cloud in the short term, just struggling to recover above the cloud here. So is looking a little bit more bearish. The S&P future down very slightly this morning, and the Nasdaq E-mini no change. So at the moment it's hard to call which way the markets will open. The FTSE 100 index yesterday was fairly benign, although we are looking bearish below the cloud. The 250 really did fall away quite heavily. We had quite a weak session, and we're coming right back here. So UK stocks still looking a little bit worrying, and Brexit fears hanging over them. We see in the DAX, we're also lower here as well, bearish below the cloud, having had a week really now, where the DAX is falling away after a very strong couple of months, and the Nikkei also just starting to come below the cloud, but still bullish on all 3 time frames. Hang Seng is bullish all round, really got good short-term targets, 5%. 5% targets there on the short-term chart, so looking pretty good. And Shanghai also holding above the cloud, even though it was down 0.5% overnight. And the Indian market, the Sensex, is looking a little bit weaker on the short term, but the medium and long-term chart still strong. And the Australian market just pulling back as well, but still holding its bullish position. Brent crude is falling below the cloud, so we are just seeing Brent coming off now on the 60-minute chart. We've got downside targets of about 1.5%. We have got good upside targets here to $78 on the medium and long-term charts after this move, but the reality is at the moment, short-term, we're falling away. WTI, much the same picture, of course. Not as clear targets as Brent, but we are still falling away on the short-term. US Natgas falling back to 311, turning bearish on the short-term chart. So we are just seeing Natgas pulling back from this move up to 320, which was quite a big move. We do have upside targets on the medium and long-term charts of 339. That's 9% upside. But at the moment, the short-term is telling us we're likely to fall before we rise. Going straight to gold, we see gold falling this morning back to the low 270s, so just looking a little bit more bearish there in the short term, and the medium term chart just coming into an area of bearishness as well. Silver also just below the cloud on the short term chart, and the long term chart hasn't really managed to get bullish at any point, so it's slightly different from gold. Taking a look at US Treasury yields, sitting at 2.41%, good session yesterday, rose 3 points, and we're now sitting at that 2.40 area, so interesting that 10-year yields are pointing higher again. Apple looking fairly strong, flat yesterday but still bullish on all 3 time frames. Google flat as well but still bullish. Amazon also holding its bullish position. Facebook just struggling a little bit, coming back below the cloud, but still holding on the lagging line, and great upside target, so still bullish. And Microsoft also just a bit flat but holding on. That's it for today. Until tomorrow, happy charting. See you then.